against Panama in the knockout stages in 2018. Wasn't it the knockout stages actually? It was the group stages, wasn't it? Panama. I think there was 6-0 up at half time. England in that one. Manchester City man making his 60th cap today. Here he is on the ball now, Stones. 3 goals, 2 of those in that game against Panama. His first 2 England goals they were as well. Here's Stones again. Talking about him. So he's got the ball. And he brings it over the halfway line, gives it to the red boots of Harry Maguire. Out wide to Luke Shaw. Since winning the ball back off of Iran, England have kept it, and they're going to keep it, and they're going to make Iran work for it. And Iran are happy to sit back and let England have it. We're at a stalemate at the moment. Here is Declan Rice across to Bellingham. Now it's Trippier into Saka, strolls infield and takes it away from the challenge of Hosseini. Keeping it again. Here's Saka once more. Bellingham back to Stones and across to the left-hand side where Harry Maguire just shuffles back and takes control of it, gives it back in the centre circle to Stones. Bellingham, all eyes on the teenager, expected to do well in this competition. 9 goals at club level this season, yet to score for England. Cross from Trippier, good ball in, almost came to Sterling, comes out to Bellingham. First touch was a poor one, but he manages to stabilise things and give it back to West Ham's Rice. Down the left-hand side is Mason Mount, and he puts his body ahead of Pora Liganji and sees it behind for an England corner. 2 minutes gone, all England at the moment, and they have a corner on the left-hand side. Looking to get off to a perfect start. Kieran Trippier, who's usually pretty good with those dead balls. Watched the game between Newcastle and Chelsea last week, and I've heard people say it since, and I thought at the time he was absolutely pleased that he gets the start today, because he is the in-form right back. Here is Trippier. Curls it in underneath the crossbar, no one there. England want a penalty. Stones and Maguire both wrestle to the ground. Both have got their arms up in the air. The referee staggers along between the two of them and points for a goal kick rather than a penalty. But both are being absolutely manhandled by Chesney, who fouled Stones. And then Pora Liganji wrestled down Maguire, and the referee's got to spot that. If he doesn't spot it, then he's got a 7-man team on VAR. For goodness sake, that is a penalty twice over. Stones is wrestled down, and it's a rugby tackle on Maguire. And Gareth Southgate gets up, holds his hands to his side, and the referee has allowed VAR to have a look. VAR, surprise, surprise, haven't seen enough. Well, I don't know what you need to see for that to be a penalty, but it's a rugby tackle on Maguire, and it's a shirt pull and a trip on Stones. Every day of the week, one of those two has to be a penalty. We've got away with one there, Iran. VAR did come under scrutiny yesterday. Little nudge back from Chesney. He's the attacking midfielder of the Iran setup, and yet he's almost playing as a central defender. They're playing those 3 across the midfield. Savi to the left, Chesney down the middle, and Nuro Liahi. There's Declan Rice and Trippier carefully back to the edge of the box. Harry Maguire bringing in his Manchester United compatriot Luke Shaw back inside to Declan Rice, making his 35th appearance for his country today. Saka on the right. Way back to Stones. Saka, of course, picked up an injury a couple of weeks before the World Cup. I thought he might well be a doubt, but he bounced back and played the next week for Arsenal. Yes, Maguire, who's seen plenty of the ball to get a good feel for this game so far. 30-degree heat in Qatar. Is scheduled to get cooler as the winter starts to kick in the coming weeks. There is air conditioning in these stadiums. 5 minutes gone. England have been on top so far. Could have had a penalty. VAR obviously hasn't been switched on yet because they missed it. There's Bellingham. Back into Stones. Little reverse pass to Saka in a central position. Back to Rice. Square of him is Bellingham. Bellingham to the left-hand side, and a chance for Shaw to get the cross in. He does get the cross in, up towards Saka, but he's beaten in the air by Hadsavi. Trippier plays it backwards to Maguire, who just thrusts it carefully forward to Bellingham. Bellingham keeps it moving. Stones to Trippier, plays the ball down the line. It was closed down quickly though by Mohamedi. Saka is wrestling away, trying to get the ball beyond the defender Hosseini. Hosseini eventually gets there first and turns it away on the swivel for a throw-in to England, down by the corner flag. England 0, Iran 0. 6 minutes gone. England controlling the situation at the moment with total possession. Trippier with a throw, 2 balls on the pitch. He's got rid of one of them. With the other one, he throws it rapidly back to Stones towards the halfway line. Square of him is Luke Shaw, quickly out wide to Sterling. I think that's the first touch for Sterling that I've mentioned certainly in this game so far. Now Stones on a halfway line, prods it forward to Declan Rice. Saka shreds past one, spins past another, but then he's comprehensively beaten to the ball by Chesney. But in amongst it all, he was tripped by Bukayo Saka, and so a free kick is given. 5 appearances, 3 goals in qualifying. Not a bad return for the Arsenal man, who's certainly in good form at the moment. This is 21st cap for England, 4 goals to show for it. And he is the one player that has got the nod for form, along with this man on the ball now. Trippier, wide to Kane. Kane in towards the penalty area, and the goalkeeper went to get a finger to it, didn't really get a touch. It came out to Harry Maguire and he's put it into the side netting, but I don't think he's seen it until late, and the referee has blown his whistle. There's an Iranian defender, Hosseini, who's down on the floor holding his head. Not quite sure how, but he's been blown out by his own goalkeeper. It's a clash of heads between the goalkeeper and the defender, Hosseini and Berevand. It's everybody. That's a nasty old clash, that one. Harry Maguire has got his foot to it from the narrowest of angles, put it into the side netting, only a foot or so past the post. England 0, Iran 0. England making the early running. Goalkeeper comes dashing out. Bang! Oh, that's cheek to cheek. That's painful. I'll take back what I said. I thought he'd just gone down out of duress, but that's a nasty one. And he's a big, strong lad, is Majid Hosseini. Plays in Turkey for Trabzonspor. Actually scored his first league goal in the final weekend in the Turkish Super League. A first league goal against Konyaspor. He's got 18 caps. He's also played for Kerespor. Goalkeeper has done the rounds in Europe as well. Boa Vista in Portugal. Royal Antwerp in Belgium, 8 clean sheets in qualifying. Now plays back in Iran for Persepolis. There is some blood coming out of the nose of the goalkeeper at the moment. That's why there is a block in play in this game, with the clock still ticking and 9 minutes gone. England on top so far. Could have had a penalty, but VAR and the referee turned a blind eye on the rugby tackle on Harry Maguire and the shirt pull and trip on Stones. And then we've seen that cross from Harry Kane. A nasty clash of heads. It really is a nasty one. Harry Maguire turning the ball into side netting. The goalkeeper and the defender taken out. Oh, that's a weird. The more you look at that clash, the nastier it looks. It's a right old face-to-face bosh. That's a horrible one. And the referee's got to allow the medics to deal with the head injuries as per protocol. No chance will be left unturned. And it's a chance to just quickly take a look at the fixtures for today. The other game in this group, the late kick-off today, is USA against Wales. Really looking forward to that one as well. Wales' first World Cup finals match in 64 years, and the nation of Wales can't wait for that one. Senegal against the Netherlands in between. That'll be a good game. 2 of the top teams in Group A. You could be those two likely to match up to the top 2 in Group B, and so that will be in the weeks to come, of course. And England will probably keep a close eye on that one, knowing that if they do get through the group, they're likely to face potentially Senegal or the Netherlands. Not an easy one, that's for sure. Senegal without Sadio Mane, which is a blow to them. The former Liverpool man now at Bayern Munich, out injured for the World Cup. The substitute goalkeeper Hossein Hassini is warming up. 6 caps, the Esteghlal player, warming up with the goalkeeping coach in a large technical area. The grassed area at the side of the pitch is very wide, so there's a lot of room for warming up your multitude of substitutes. Remember, there are more subs than starters in these World Cup squads. The goalkeeper is still down on the ground. Pleased to say that Hassini seems to have come off slightly better. He's okay, but that was a horrible clash from the ball in by Harry Kane. The break in play does take the initiative away from England, as they were steering the ship with some ease up until the point when the goalkeeper came dashing off his line and bashed heads with Hassini. Beren Van is still down. The medical team, led by Ali Razi Shabab, is monitoring the situation. The referee standing over the 3 medics that are on the pitch. Iran fans here in their numbers today, and got their problems at home at the moment. So, goalkeeper is still being stitched up. It looks like nasty cut to the nose, whether it's a nosebleed or a cut to the bridge of the nose. I can't quite see. The camera angles are not going up close enough, but certainly dazed the goalkeeper. I just wonder if he's going to be allowed to carry on here, given the severity of that clash of heads. It does look like Hassini is going to come on, so they're going to have a change of goalkeeper here, Iran, and he's back up on his feet, and he looks a bit groggy at the moment. There's Ali Raza Berenband. He's got some cotton buds stuck up his nose, and he's been supervised by the medics. He's now been spoken to by his captain, Hussein Hadsafi. The tall goalkeeper just had a bottle of water thrown in his face by one of the medics as well. He's now being told he needs to change his goalkeeper shirt because he's got blood on it. He looks completely dazed, and I don't think he should be carrying on personally. I know I'm not a doctor, and I'm not assessing the situation, but that was a nasty old clash. Now England, if he does stay on, which it looks to me is, because he's putting on the spare goalkeeping shirt, which has also got number 1 on the back, by the way. He's going to carry on. He doesn't look too great at the moment. He's even having to change his shorts. One of the 3 medics standing in front of the camera. The camera pans away to preserve Ali Raz's dignity. And he can change his shorts, or are they going to change goalkeeper? We're a bit confused at the moment. I don't like to portray too much of a picture of Ali Raza Berenband, but he's got a rather big nose, and it does look as if it's already been broken in previous clashes. He's a man with a big schnoz, and he's taken a right old battering as he's run into Majid Husseini there. I think he's hit the cheekbone of Husseini, and he's got up fairly quickly and unscathed, although he might have a bit of a shiner in the morning. It was a horrible, horrible clash, and a clash that has stopped the game for over 5 minutes now. England 0, Iran 0. If you're just joining us, a break in play because of a clash of heads between 2 Iran players, Ali Raza Berenband, the goalkeeper, and the defender Majid Hosseini. It was a horrible one as well. He missed the cross from Harry Kane and went rushing out straight into his defender. It was a horrible head-to-head clash. It looks like he's going to carry on for now, Ali Raza Berenband, and I'm sure the instruction for the England bench was get that ball in the box and let's test him early. England have had all the possession so far. It is a goal kick because Harry Maguire got on the end of the cross from the angle and put it into the side netting. So 15 and a half minutes gone, but that does mean there will be at least 6 minutes added on at the end of the first half. In about half an hour's time. The goalkeeper that was due to come on, Hossein Hassini, is now putting a bib on and continuing his warm-up. They're keeping a close eye on the Iranian goalkeeper. Here's Sterling, wide to Kane, and now Mount takes it down the left-hand side, trying to get beyond Murami. Still, it's Mount waiting for the overlap from Shaw, but he lets Shaw go past him and then goes backwards to the West Ham midfielder Declan Rice. England in possession inside their own half at the moment with Harry Maguire. Shuffles forward, gives it to Shaw, flips it over the head of an Iranian player and into the path of Mason Mount. Mason Mount wins the throw. Shaw will take. England 0, Iran 0, 16 minutes gone. Although many of those 16 minutes have been affected by the injury to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper has gone down, he's lying down now inside that 6-yard box. He's clearly not fit to carry on, and they have to bring on a goalkeeper. He's signalled to the bench, just seeing a replay, he's going to come off. He doesn't look right. I said he didn't look right when he got on his feet. Extensive treatment, and what they've got to do now is they've got to make sure that all the protocol, if it hasn't already been carried out, because I've seen 3 medics out there. Are any of them actually doctors? I don't know, but that needs to be carried out. He needs to be checked over and make sure that he's okay. And the Iranian goalkeeper's health is, of course, of paramount importance. He will be replaced by Hossein Hassini, who makes only his 7th international appearance for Iran. He's going to come on to replace the goalkeeper, who's now going to be stretchered off. The medics have come on. He will be helped onto a stretcher. England pinging the ball around inside the centre circle. Jordan Pickford's come up and joined him. He hasn't touched the ball yet. And we've played nearly 20 minutes, half of which have been eaten up by stoppage in play because of this injury. The goalkeeper's gone down. He's clearly got some sort of concussion, and my immediate thoughts here are, was the protocol followed properly? Because I don't think he's been checked over properly, has he? He quite clearly cannot carry on. He's now being carried off on a stretcher, the goalkeeper, clearly and visibly in no fit condition to even walk off the field. It's a very sad moment for him in his first game in this World Cup. It's his 53rd cap, and the goalkeeper is being withdrawn to be replaced by Hossein Hassini. So the stretcher being carried off. Generous round of applause for the Iranian goalkeeper. Nearly 19 minutes gone. Suspected concussion, and so it will be a concussion substitution by the letter of the law, so it doesn't eat into the amount of substitutes that Iran are allowed to make in this game. It won't be one of their 5. So Hossein Hassini, in his all light blue goalkeeping kit, puts his gloves on and runs out onto the field of play to take his place in goal. They clearly couldn't carry on with a goalkeeper that was dazed, and Iran have followed protocol and taken him off. Here's Stones for England as we resume play. Nearly 20 minutes on the clock, although in theory not even 10 minutes on the clock. Half of the 20 minutes we've played so far have been injury times. I'm expecting almost double figures to be shown by the 4th official. Does announce at half-time, or just before half-time, how many minutes to add on. Here's Luke Shaw, long ball forward towards Mason Mount, cleverly back to Sterling, brings it down, looking pace at the moment, trying to find Bellingham, cleared away well by Murami. Murami down the right-hand side to Jahambach, the former Brighton Hove Albion player, cuts inside Rice, but it's won back by Mason Mount, who slides in, gives it to Trippier. They're back from Stones to Pickford. First touch from Pickford in all yellow today. Clearance up towards the halfway line. Pora Liganji winning the ball ahead of Sterling, and Iran on their attack for the first time in this game with Hadsafi. Hadsafi gets it back for Chesney. Now wide to Mohammadi. Given away by Hadsafi. Came off with Bellingham and out for a throw-in to Iran. Iran nil, England nil. In this World Cup Group B opener. Iran looking to get themselves forward, but they've won the ball, England, through Bellingham, but Bellingham has been adjudged to have fouled Hadj Safi, and a free kick has been given to Iran, right level with the just left-hand side, out by the touchline, not far from the edge of the penalty area, so a crossing opportunity, and up comes Hosseini, who's recovered from that clash of heads with the poor old goalkeeper Baranvad. Chesney's in there as well. England need to be solid with this moment of defensive responsibility. England nil, Iran nil, 21 and a half minutes gone. Standing over the ball, the man that won the free kick, Hadj Safi, and Jahanbakhsh as well. Looks like Jahanbakhsh might well deliver it in right-footed, so it will be an in-swinger towards Pickford. No, he moves away into a wide position, then comes back and he does take it. Stabbed it away by Trippier. It was a pretty poor free kick in the end from Jahanbakhsh. We go down the right-hand side, cross from Nuralahi. All the way through. Came out on the left-hand side, Jahanbakhsh goes down. No fouls as the referee in England have been throwing deep inside their own half. 22 minutes gone. England nil, Iran nil at the Khalafi International Stadium. England on top so far. Iran having to change their goalkeeper. Harry Maguire, that resulting injury, hit the side netting from an acute angle, and he wouldn't have seen it until late. Can't really criticise Harry Maguire. It wasn't an easy chance by any means. Just as we hit the halfway point, in inverted commas, in the first half, England nil, Iran nil. On a big opening day of football, if you like. Yesterday was just the starter, wasn't it? This is the first of the main courses. 3 games today. Senegal, Netherlands should be a good one. USA, Wales, really looking forward to that. Anyone that likes their football can sit down and enjoy 3 great games today. This is the first of them. England have won a free kick inside the Iran half, over on the left-hand side. It was Declan Rice played the ball forward. Mason Mount was shoved in the back as he controlled it by Ahmed Nuralahi. Rice steps it down the line to Shaw. Shaw is set up by Sterling. Can he get the cross in? He can't. It's taken a deflection, nearly came to Bellingham, cleared away by Hosseini. Came off of Bellingham, in fact, because the throw-in has been given to Iran. It remains goalless. The Khalafi International Stadium. Goalless. It wasn't goalless for very long yesterday, was it, in the opening game? 0-0 scoreline. It's back with Pickford. Taking a breath, England, as they to conjure up another attack. They haven't really got into that attacking stride since the goalkeeping substitution, but there is a flag up against Sterling. I thought it might have been a foul against Sterling, but no, it's an offside flag against Sterling. And so a free kick to Iran, 10 yards inside their own half. Quickly lofted forward towards the edge of the England box, cushioned away by the head of Harry Maguire. Now Declan Rice surveying the scene, but a yellow card has been shown to Jahanbakhsh for wiping out Luke Shaw, who stays on the ground. It was a nasty late challenge. Shaw's played it inside and he's come darting in and he's trod on the foot of Luke Shaw. Painful one. And that's one on the ankle. Ouch. Slow that one down. It hurts all the more. And a yellow card for Jahanbakhsh. 13 goals in 64 for his country. He's got a good record for Brighton. 61 games, 4 goals. But one of the big go-to men for Iran finds himself on a yellow card for a silly challenge, really, on Luke Shaw. He is back on his feet. That free kick is taken. It's now over on the right-hand side. England have won another free kick. It's all stop-start at the moment. England needing to try and test out the substitute goalkeeper. Here's Harry Kane, but beaten to it. And then Saka winning the loose ball. And back in the midfield by Nuralahi. Chance to get forward, Karimi to Taremi. Challenge coming in, and England actually win the throw. It came off of a Iranian player. It was Taremi that came off of. Stones inside the England half to Declan Rice on the halfway line. 73% possession England, 14% in contest is what they're calling it now when neither side has got the ball, and 13% for Iran. Still getting used to that three-way possession stat that FIFA are choking up at us. Here's Saka, right-hand side. Back to Bellingham, trying to make things happen from 30 yards out. It's Trippier, so Saka. Saka turns past the first challenge, but not past the second, and Iran have it back momentarily, clearing it up towards Declan Rice as he cushions it forward. The referee blows his whistle, and it's a free kick for a foul on Ali Karimi. It was the whole of last season with a hip injury. The Kayserispor player who's also played in Russia for Dinamo Zagreb. England 0, Iran 0. Foul by Saka, free kick to Iran when Karimi does eventually get up. He does, he's moving gingerly, but he'll be okay. Free kick taken quickly by Chesney. Fed forward by Lanjani. To Saka, edge of the penalty area for England, trying to make things happen. Whips it towards goal, down to make the save. Hosseini, comfortable save. Like, did bounce up right in front of him. He'll be pleased to get his first touch from the delivery in from Saka, which didn't really have any pace. But England to really threaten the Iranian goal despite all the possession. In a stop-start opening 27.5 minutes. It will be 10 minutes or so to add on to the end of this half because of the injury to Beram van, the goalkeeper. Declan Rice back to his goalkeeper. Here's Rice again. He receives the pass from the left foot of Jordan Pickford. Now Trippier goes forward and gives it to Saka, who's tripped inside his own half, and England have a free kick and Saka stays down, holding his calf from the uncompromising challenge from Hosseini. Rolled into Saka and brought him down. England have a free kick. The referee from Brazil, Rafael Klaus, asking England to get on with it. I'm sure they will want to at the earliest opportunity anyway. Here's Declan Rice and out to Shaw. He's made a full recovery from that nasty challenge from Jahanbakhsh 5 minutes or so ago, which earned the only yellow card of the game so far. High ball out towards Trippier on the right hand side. Brings it down nicely, waiting for some support. It's carefully back to Stones, who strolls forward towards the halfway line. Closing him down is Mehdi Taremi. It's Harry Maguire. Stones again. And Trippier. All the way back to Pickford, who comes out of his penalty area. Keeps it ticking for England. Stones jogging forward midway inside his own half. Over towards the left-hand side, and Luke Shaw just rolls it ahead of himself, weighs up the scene, and then cuts inside. He gives it to Declan Rice. Rice to Stones. Stones out wide to Trippier, 10 yards inside the Iran half, wide to Saka, down by the corner flag. Chance to maybe get the cross in, but he's got two red shirts around him. Goes back to Trippier, back to Saka again. Trippier again, through the hole to Sterling. Lovely little ball round the corner to Saka. Can he get the cross in? He can. And there's a shot, and it was Mason Mount, and it was into the side netting, and that's the best we've seen from England so far. Brilliant little interchange between Saka and Sterling. They bided the time, England, and when Saka managed to find Trippier, turn around the corner from Sterling, first time ball in from Saka, side netting from Mason Mount, although there was a defender and the goalkeeper both closing in on him, which made it a difficult chance in many respects from 8 yards out from Mason Mount, coming across to him on the right boot and being able to put it into the side netting for a goal kick. Just coming up to half an hour gone. England 0, Iran 0. If you are just joining us, a game that's been disrupted quite severely, about 10 minutes stoppage because of a clash of heads between the goalkeeper Ali Reza Berenvand and the defender Hosseini. Hosseini got up, he was okay, bit of a bruised cheekbone I suspect. The goalkeeper, after a long bout of treatment, recovered and then went down to the ground pretty much straight away and had to be taken off. Bellingham wins the ball back well. Rice stabs it forward, and a chance for Mason Mount to dart up towards the halfway line. And he's got Luke Shaw sprinting on his shoulder on the left-hand side, trying to get forward here. England, Marami, I should say, trying to get back. It doesn't matter, England come inside. It's Trippier who gets the cross in. Harry Kane flicks it on, but it's just beyond Saka, cleared away in part, only as far as Bellingham by Iran. Now Trippier to Sterling, through the legs of the defender. Sterling into the box, wins a corner. Good play that by Raheem Sterling, showing a little bit of class to weave his way and weave his magic into the penalty area. Corner to England. England 0, Iran 0. Lovely little touch through the legs of the defender, Hosseini, and then coming back to smuggle it behind was Karimi. England have a corner, which Trippier will take, their second corner of the game. This one's on the right-hand side. The first one early in the game was on the left-hand side. Saka has made the run over for the option of a short corner, but two red shirts have followed him out there. Karimi closing down, and Pore Liganji just trying to sort things out in the box. It's an England corner, the last one. We saw Stones wrestled and we saw Maguire wrestled, and I've seen Stones and Maguire both glance at the referee and say, look, keep an eye. No wrestling this time. Ball in into the penalty area, and it was Declan Rice that heads it against the crossbar and out, and England within a whisker of taking the lead. Here's Saka, but he's given it away, and Iran might have a chance to break away here down the left-hand side. It's a good little breakaway. It's Mohammedi. Bellingham does ever so well. Saka, back to Bellingham. Bellingham won't catch that low, the pass from Saka, and it's a throw-in to Iran with the ball in. And it was a header from Maguire, not by... it was Harry Maguire, and it loops up and hits the bar and comes back out. So unlucky for Harry Maguire. Jordan Pickford had his hands up in the air at the other end. He thought it had gone in. Harry Maguire denied by the bar, and it remains goalless at the Khalifa International Stadium, with England mighty close to an opener. And this time, Iran were unable to stop that pairing of Stones and Maguire. That might be where England need to profit from those corner situations. England closing down. Trippier blocks the ball forward by Mohammedi. Haj Safi. It's cleared away by Stones up towards the halfway line. Nice touch from Sterling, and then Bellingham carefully to the left-hand side where it's slightly less populated, and the chance for Shaw to jog forward up towards the halfway line for England. 33 minutes on the clock, 0-0. England just hitting the bar through Harry Maguire. Here's Declan Rice over to the right-hand side, and Trippier rolls it down the line towards Saka, but the defender Chesney gets there first. He looks an uncompromising character. It's going to stop Saka from at least putting in a challenge. Here's Bellingham winning it back for England in the midfield towards the edge of the right-hand side of the penalty area, back to the halfway line. Stones and then Maguire. Now wide to Shaw on the left-hand side, 25 yards from the corner flag. Wants an option, not too many out at the moment. Rice was a bit static, so he goes back to Harry Maguire. Stones just beyond the centre circle inside the Iran. Maguire, nice pass to Mason Mount, wide by Sterling, cross by Shaw, glancing header, England leads, and it's that man, Jude Bellingham, with his first England goal. Jude Bellingham just glanced it. He didn't need to put power on it, and he just glanced it over the top of the substitute goalkeeper, Hassan Hosseini. And it's England 1, Iran 0. And it's Jude Bellingham with a header. Lovely piece of build-up play from England down the left-hand side. And Jude Bellingham announces his arrival on the biggest stage of all. The teenager gives England the lead, and it's no more than they deserve. 10 minutes before half-time. Although if you count added time, we might also say 20 minutes before half-time. But England building up down the left-hand side. Good play by Sterling. Gets it wide to Shaw. His cross in. It gets in between two defenders and glances it brilliantly over the goalkeeper, who didn't move a muscle. His feet were rooted to the spot when it nestled in the net. And it's a really good header by Jude Bellingham. England lead by a goal to 0. Wow. Just what England needed. I'm delighted. I made a prediction today. 1-0 England, Jude Bellingham. So far so good, eh? Still a long way to go, and England in control of this game now, and they've got the goal. That means Iran have really got to try and come out if they can. But England dominating the game without really attacking and causing too many problems. But we've seen that chance a couple of minutes before the goal. Harry Maguire against the crossbar, and you're beginning to think, oh dear, is it going to be England's day today? But Jude Bellingham has just come up with the goods, and it's a very good header as well. Here they come again, England, down the left-hand side, which is where they've been profiting. But Mason Mount darting into the box. The ball to him is just a little bit overhit, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Look at the goal again. It's one of those where you get in between the two defenders, and it's so tempting to go for power, but it's not. He's just glanced it because he knows that the pace on the ball in from Luke Shaw is good enough. All he needs to do is just glance it over the goalkeeper and into the net. It's a really good goal from Bellingham. He scored 9 goals this season for Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga and across Europe in the Champions League. He's a real talent, and he's got to have done it for England here. What a player. Jude Bellingham has given England the lead. 10 minutes from half-time. I actually saw an interview with him before the game, and he was saying that, you know, pressure's not on me. I've scored goals for Dortmund. My England goals will come. Well, they've come today. And England lead here by a goal to 0. Here's Luke Shaw just inside the Iran half, but he's gone all the way back. And Stones jogging back to his penalty area, rolls it back to Jordan Pickford. The occasional touch for the England goalkeeper just to keep him in with touch of the pace of the game. One ball forward by Trippier. It wasn't a particularly good one, but whilst Iran won it back, Bellingham was on hand to pick up the loose ball and held it up nicely, played it into the space for Trippier on the right back. Who gets it onto that right foot and chips it up to the halfway line. Glance from Harry Kane, hit the arm of the defender Chesney, who then berates the and wags his finger at the Brazilian referee and says, no way was that a handball, even though it did hit his arm. And free kick to England inside their own half. Haven't seen much of Harry Kane so far, but he certainly put that ball in early on, which caused a problem in the penalty area for Iran, not in the shape of the game, but in the clash of heads between goalkeeper and defender. That ultimately cost Ali Reza Berenvad the opportunity to carry on in this game. After extensive treatment, he had to go. Here is Trippier to Bellingham. Bellingham making some brilliant runs from midfield. Bellingham to Sterling, back to Bellingham. But that will run beyond him. And struggling to get it away. It's going to be a throw into Iran. It came off with Bellingham, and Bellingham causing all sorts of problems there. It's a 19-year-old Bellingham, and the stage is set for him here, and he's really announced his arrival. England 1, Iran 0. Bellingham with the goal. Mohammadi will take this throw deep inside his own half, then a left-back position behind a corner flag. Not an empty seat in the house inside this 40,000 capacity stadium, the Khalifa.
Yang mau daftar silakan guys. Nih, aku kasih WhatsApp-nya, aku spam, kalian bisa langsung dibantu daftarkan oleh partner bang. Karena di sini sudah mau 120.000 orang bang. Aku udah nggak ngerti lagi dan nggak bisa membacakan lagi komentar kalian bang. Karena udah kayak, kalian tahu superjet nggak bang? Kayak pesawat tempur kan kalau lewat tuh zoom gitu nih bang. Tuh langsung aja yang mau daftar silakan ke partner bang Donald ya. Silakan yang mau daftar guys. Daftar di sini seperti bola guys. Apa kabar? Baik dong bang Donald bang Joy. Kalian gimana bang kabarnya? Bang bisa daftarkan paket bola kan bang? Itu kalau abang betting di bola, abang bisa nonton bola bang. 10.000 bisa bang. Betting di PT bola itu dia 10.000 doang. Di negara Konoha aja judi dipromosikan aman-aman aja, iya dong. Ya kan? Selagi judi tidak membuat kalian rugi, kenapa gitu? Malah kalau judi cuan buat kalian yang bagus banget gitu. Kalau sekali daftar untuk berapa lama bang? Kalau daftar itu permanen bang, pribadi untuk kalian. Mau sampai seumur hidup pun bisa bang ya. Tidak ada
International Stadium, also known as the National Stadium. It's where the Qatari national side often play their games. It is known as the Stadium. Here is Pickford, left-footed clearance up towards the halfway line. Well, finding Pickford over the top, too heavy for Kane, straight through to Hosseini. It's England 1, Iran 0. 6 minutes to half-time, but don't switch the kettle on yet. If you were late joining us, there's 10 minutes or so to add on to that because of the long injury to the goalkeeper, Better. England 1, Iran 0. It's a free kick which will be taken by the goalkeeper Hosseini. Successive World Cup finals, 6 World Cup finals overall for Iran, yet to make it through the knockout stages. 2 wins in their 15 World Cup finals matches so far. In USA, in 1998 they beat the USA. In 2018 they beat Morocco. Behind here by a goal to nil in a group that contains USA and Wales, who play this evening in the other group game in Group B. There's also Group A, Senegal against Netherlands. Some good action coming up today. Really looking forward to those games. Here it's England 1, Iran 0. England playing around with the ball inside their own penalty area at the moment. Maguire hits the feet of Luke Shaw, steps forward towards the halfway line. Harry Kane takes over from deep. Slows it down to walking pace at the moment. Now, here's Mason Mount, who's actually had a fairly good game so far. The Chelsea man, he's not been in particularly great form. Here's Jude Bellingham, a man that is in form. Stones to Trippier, another player that has worked his way into this England side based on form. He's been brilliant for Newcastle this season. Now Stones weaves between 2 players and sends an intelligent ball out wide to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw faced up against Jahanbakhsh, finding Sterling. Shaw again, and then Rice coming inside to the centre circle, and Stones to Trippier. Trippier back to Stones on the halfway line. England leading here by that 1-0. Jude Bellingham with a goal 10 minutes before half-time. But 3 minutes to go to half-time, plus 10 minutes or so added on. Here is Mount, great ball down the line to Sterling, and it's smuggled behind for a corner by Mohamed. He plays his football in Croatia, actually. He's won 4 titles in 4 seasons in Croatia with Dinamo Zagreb. Plenty of European Champions League experience as well for Sadegh Mourami. And he had to get in ahead of Raheem Sterling and shuffle it behind for a corner. And his corners have been problematic. England hitting the bar with 1. They should have had a penalty with another. This is their 3rd corner. What can they conjure up here? England corner on the left-hand side. It's going to be Luke Shaw this time. Out swinger, headed down by Maguire and thrust into the net. That's a brilliant goal from Bukayo Saka. It's 2-0 to England, and they are coasting and they are roasting. And it's England 2, Iran 0. And it's Bukayo Saka from the head down from Harry Maguire, who had the assist. And Saka had time and space from the edge of the penalty area to rattle it home left-footed into the corner. Iran are appealing to a man with the officials that there was an infringement. I'm not so sure there was. VAR, I've no doubt will have a look, and VAR will certainly come under heavy scrutiny in this game. But, well, ball's in. Harry Maguire heads it down, and Saka with